So hey guys, welcome back to Carolina Outdoors. Guys, I thought we would kind of change directions a little bit because I was thinking about this, and it's hunting season around here. I'm not sure about in other parts of the country. I know our dove season came in around Labor Day. I think it was September 1st or 2nd. And I think in some areas of South Carolina, the deer season came in too, but it's in certain counties that it's open that early, I think. Most of it, like archery and stuff like that, is like the first week of October, and I think your rifle season comes in like the second week. So yeah, I think everybody's just getting geared up for that time of year, and I want to kind of go over a couple of the guns that I use when I go hunting. As most of you know, I'm a truck driver, and I'm on the road a good bit. A lot of it's local now, but I don't have time to do as much as I did when I was younger. But I want to these are my go-tos. I don't have many that I just pick and choose from. I mean, I do have some that are like collectible guns and stuff that, I like to keep in the safe and stuff, but for a general all around, as far as deer hunting goes, never really was what you would say a big deer hunter. Where I grew up on Mama's property and all, we had a long power line that was right beside the property, or pretty much on the property, and it just wasn't a sport because you could set a table up on the power line, and you could see further than what you could shoot or what I could shoot. It may be in some areas out to 1,000 yards, but we could sit and shoot deer at 300 and 400 yards, and we were sitting out there on a picnic table with sandbags, and just talking. It really wasn't a challenge to us, and we did have other deer stands too, but I would shoot deer to put a little bit of meat in the freezer to carry us through, but that was about it. I never really got excited about it. But I want to show you, now it's not this exact gun, but the caliber that I used, other than the old 30-30 Marlin that I started out hunting with, and I still have it, and a couple of 30-30s, and I think if you're a hunter, I think we all probably started with that, either probably that or a 243. But when I started shooting the power line, the deer on the power line, I went to this caliber and never looked back for short range, long range. If I'm like I said, now if I'm in real heavy brush or something, I'll still take that old 30-30 because it'll just knock through limbs and get the job done. But this right here, I picked this rifle up at a gun show probably about 2 years ago. And this right here, it's nothing fancy. I don't care if I take it in the woods and scratch it up. It's not one of my collectibles. But this is a really good, solid rifle here. This is chambered in 7mm Remington Magnum. As you can see, I put the mounts and the rings on. Haven't found a scope. Hadn't used it. But I was actually looking, and to show you how far behind the times I am, guys, I was looking for a Nikon scope to go on this. I started looking around and no Nikons. Well, I did some research on it, and Nikon doesn't make rifle scopes anymore. You can get the binoculars and stuff like that, but that's what I've always used. And they've always been good optics to me. But so I guess for this, I'm gonna have to look at something else. But anyway, this one is a Savage. I believe when I zoom this in, because I'm getting older, I can't read that little small writing anymore. These Savage is made in the U.S., which is always a good thing. But I think this is a model 116, I believe is what they had said. I mean, it's very tight. Like I said, I've never shot this gun. I've never put one round through it. But I've used other 7mm rifles, and it's just been one of my favorites. I mean, it's like AT&T used to be. They'd reach out and touch you. But let me set this here in the corner for a second. And guys, I don't know if it's still going on, but it's hard to find bullets anywhere. And I happened to find these Remington core locks. If you can see this, this is 150 grain, and that's pretty much standard, or what I've always used. But back in the day, guys, I used to always, and there's nothing wrong with Remington, I'll shoot it all day long, but I used to use a Winchester. It was a silver cartridge, and it had the ballistic tip on the end. A lot of you guys will know what I'm talking about. I think it had the red tip on the end, but maybe I'll run across some more and I can stack them back. But out of the box, this right here is what your 7mm cartridge looks like. So going on, probably my favorite type of hunting is dove hunting. I've always enjoyed the trigger action that you got, and especially when birds were flying, guys, man, I've had my barrel so hot you couldn't touch it. Excuse me. But my go-to then and now is old school. I know there's a lot of great shotguns out there, very expensive ones too, but this has been my go-to for many years, is the old A5 Browning. And I just happened to pick this up probably for this particular one right here, probably 4 or 5 years ago, maybe not that long. But I went to a gun shop, and I had heard that carried these quite often. And like I said, guys, these are old school, but they're hard to beat. I mean, because now if you see, a lot of people don't like that hump right there. That's the famous A5 hump. But to me, like, if I throw it up, you don't even look, because that hump right there, you're dead on. I mean, that's it. Another thing that I liked about these, and I'm sure that they've made some more models that are comparable to this, but let's say that you've shot your last round out. Okay, your breech is open here. Is your speed load feature. If a lot of birds are coming in, bang, you popped your last shell out. Right here, your speed load. You're good to go again. We'll pop that right back out. Also, some of these old A5s here, they cycle faster than some of your gas-operated newer models. Very tried and true John Browning. Also, now when I was shooting birds and stuff, early season, and for some of you that know what I'm talking about, you'll know exactly. But, and some people say it's not necessary, but this is what I've always used in the early season. Right here is a regular 1 1/8 ounce load. Another thing, guys, you can get these shells that are not 1 1/8 ounce. A5 won't cycle them. Like a 1 ounce load, they just, because it's looking for that recoil to eject. Now the shell, but now the 1 ounce doesn't have any recoil to it, but the A5 doesn't like to cycle them. Some people say theirs will cycle them. If that works on your gun, fine, good, go with it. I've never had much luck with it, and I'm not taking a box of 1 ounce loads with this gun to the field and having trouble. It's just not worth my time. Also, low brass shells. This box here, 2 3/4. These are lead loads, and a lot of places you can still hunt with lead. I know a lot of duck hunters and stuff like that have went to lead. I'm sorry, steel. But this right here is a 1,200 feet per second. And like I said, early season dove or quail or whatever, and most of the time quail, you're fine with that. That's a good all around shell, rabbit, whatever. Your winter season, guys, I've been out on the field with these shells, and I've shot birds, and I saw feathers poof, and they laughed at me and kept going. And I was like, and I did it several times. And you know, occasionally I would bring one down on a second shot, but a guy handed me, and back in the day they were called duck and pheasant loads, and I think I still have a couple of those boxes that actually say that. But he handed me some of those, and they were these right here. These are 1,330 feet per second, 6-shot high brass. I mean, those are some hot loads. And if you can see the difference, that's the high brass. High brass, low brass. Slower all around, good use, fast, hot. And with these, when I started hitting birds, it just didn't poof feathers, it brought them down. It does a little damage on your shoulder too after, you know, shooting it a while, but during the winter, those birds just poof up. It's like an extra layer or something, and it takes a little bit more to knock them down. But with that being said, you know, I kind of wanted to turn in a different direction and share something with you that I've always enjoyed, because growing up, this was our pastime, you know, and we would always have deer meat to eat. And we did a lot of quail hunting. There's not a lot of farmland that quail and stuff require in the Carolinas much anymore, so they've just kind of left. But you know, we always enjoyed eating what we brought in, And I wish more adults now would take the time to share with their kids, and so they in turn can pass it down to their kids. It's a great pastime. It's, you know, you get kids off the streets and into something well worthwhile. So yeah, that's my take, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you don't mind, leave me a comment. Tell me what your favorite hunting sport is. Maybe duck hunting. Or what's some of your favorite guns, shotguns or rifles that you use. So yeah, leave me a comment about that. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. I sure appreciate that, and I thank you for taking your time to be with me. Like I said before, I don't take that lightly. But yeah, so we'll leave you with that. I just want to get on here and throw something out for you, and hope you enjoyed it. Catch you on the next one. Alright guys, I'm going to try to talk a little louder. We got some wind blowing out here, but I don't have any microphone covers, so I apologize for that. Maybe I'll get to that soon. But right here is where we're going to actually, in live time, we're going to split the mockernut hickory and the red oak, and we're going to check that moisture content. So let me get this splitter fired up, and like I said, there's no trickery here. I mean, there's no need for it. But yeah, we're going to be taking the moisture meter here, split each one. And remember, I called the mockernut hickory at 25%, and I think I said 12. 15 or below, but I think I said 12 on the red oak. So let's go. I could tell by that crack on that red oak, that's pretty dry. Okay, we'll zero it out. I was off, guys. 8%. That's good. On the hickory, I'm not believing that. That's just 6%, guys. Let's try this again. We were all wrong. 6% on that mockernut hickory. I never would have thought that. So that's that. Shocker. Never would have thought it. Hey guys, I had to get in and out of that wind out there, but yeah, I was surprised to see the moisture content as low as it was, especially in that hickory, since it had been in the carport and stuff. But it is what it is, and that was probably one of my smaller pieces of hickory that I had cut for cooking. I've got some larger pieces, so I'm hoping that some of the larger ones will have retained that moisture. I mean, I will use it regardless, but I can usually the green wood that I know that's green, I can put it like directly under like my barbecue and stuff that I'm cooking, and it doesn't give off a lot of heat, but it creates that smoke that we had talked about. But I can still use this around the edges of the pit and stuff like that, kind of indirect heat, and it'll be fine. But yeah, that's just what I'm hoping for, is that some of my bigger pieces has a higher moisture content. But you know, it's really no big deal. But that was my theory, and it's always worked before. So, but like I said, of course, now my pieces were a little bit bigger. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of do a little trial on everything there and let you guys see it as well. So thanks for being here, and we'll catch you on the next one.